It took a full-blown national crisis among e-cigarette users with thousands of illnesses and at least 60 deaths across the country to push state health officials and ultimately President Donald Trump into action.
And we can't have our youth be so affected.
Missing from the federal ban on flavored e-cigarettes, menthol-flavored products, a clear win for the industry delivered straight from the White House.
At the same time, it's a big industry. We want to protect the industry.
It's an exclusion that raises eyebrows among industry observers who note just how financially important menthol flavoring has been historically within the tobacco industry, especially when it comes to the use of menthol among black and brown smokers like Gilda Courtney.
Gilda, you smoke what?
Newport Menthol.
Gilda is a veteran bartender at the legendary Paris Blues nightclub in Harlem.
A lot of people were smoking, try this better, this might do you good. So I tried it and it was okay.
She's been smoking menthol cigarettes for more than 3 decades.
When I came to America, and the throat, couldn't do the throat and the cigarettes.
My father died from problems with his lungs because he smoked cigarettes.
Pamelia Harold worked for one of the big tobacco companies.
My father was smoking Camels, and they were bothering him. So the doctor told him, if you need to smoke, smoke a menthol. Okay?
The tobacco industry was one of the first industries to recognize not all marketing needs to go toward white males.
Lincoln Mundy is Associate Director of Strategic Projects for Advocates for Youth in Washington, D.C., and produced the short film Black Lives, Black Lungs.
Brown and Williamson then took 90% of their budget and put it into television advertising because they knew African Americans would disproportionately look at that.
Mundy argues African American smokers' collective affinity for menthol flavoring is no coincidence.
Menthol cigarettes were specifically targeted towards my community, African Americans, in a really cross-sector predatory campaign. I mean, there's things dating back from free cigarettes in urban areas.
It's important to note several cities and states have already taken steps to enact stronger e-cigarette bans. In fact, in New Jersey, a legislative bill actually included a menthol ban. But that provision was ultimately removed out of concerns for how it would affect state tax revenues on cigarette sales. A spokesperson for the bill's sponsor, Assemblyman Herb Conaway, says he's, quote, very much aware that menthol cigarettes have been used to target black and brown communities for years. And while it was something that was difficult to do at this moment, he is resolved to getting it done in the future. John Banzhaf, public interest law professor at George Washington University Law School, puts it bluntly.
It's blatantly racist.
Because of menthol's troubled history with black and brown cigarette and e-cigarette users, and menthol's reputation as a dangerously smooth gateway toward nicotine addiction, Professor Banzhaf believes the latest regulations should indeed include a ban on menthol. He even goes so far as to say its continued use amounts to an industry putting profits ahead of health concerns for its black and brown customers.
The latest survey that I have seen on this issue shows that 80% of the kids who smoke cigarettes who are African Americans pick the menthol brand. There's actually an exhibit in a library talking about from chattel slavery to menthol slavery.
We reached out to several big tobacco companies seeking comment, including ITG Brands, Altria, and RJ Reynolds. We did not receive a response from any of them in time for this report. In the newsroom, Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.